Test, test, test. Hopefully I'm live. Hopefully I'm live. It's kind of interesting. I tried to launch a couple of seconds ago or a couple minutes ago and it was not working. So hopefully I'm live now. Put a 0 down inside the chat if you are with me live. We're live. So today what I want to talk about is how one of our students named Susie was able to go and get her third client for $900 a month. So far she gotten three clients for $900 a month, about $2,700 per month in monthly recurring revenue. Now, if you're watching this thing live with me, write down hashtag team live. If you're watching this on the replay, write down hashtag team replay. Depending on like what the split is, if there's more people watching it live, I might make it a little bit more interactive. Versus if there are more people watching on the replay, I might put a gift like a link to my book or something down in the links in the comments. So it also is going to boost this to show to more people, right? So I'm doing this for free. So a way you can say thank you or help me out is by commenting and engaging, and that's going to push this to more people. So I'm like more motivated to do this, right? Cool. So why does this matter? Why does this video even matter, right? It shows that number one, getting clients is possible. I know that right now there's a lot of kind of nervousness, hesitancy, and fear in the market. Number two, this shows that decent monthly pricing is possible. Okay, you don't have to settle for clients at $150 a month. It also shows that bookkeeping and accountants can grow faster today than what they could in the past, right? So for me, I got started back in 2015, and if you don't know me, my name is Bryce, and when I got started, things were drastically different than what they were today, right? So it was a lot more in-person networking. There was more people doing like cold calling, and it was much more efficient in the way that we could grow our business. But today, the environment is much better, right? So social media makes it much easier to reach business owners are also more open to virtual services, but most importantly, clients are willing to pay higher monthly fees than what they were in the past. Like back then, it was getting someone to pay you like $300 a month was like getting water from a rock. Right? It just so difficult. However, today with inflation and just people like respecting what you do more, there's a lot easier way to kind of like price, higher and like get it accepted. So you have much more pricing power than what you did in the past. Now, for me, I was not able to learn this stuff just through osmosis, right? I didn't just figure this stuff out on my own. I heavily invested in coaches, consultants, mastermind retreats, sales training, business education, right? And over time, all those skills, all those courses, all that investment money spent helped me grow my accounting and bookkeeping business. And as a result of that, I'm now in a position to be able to help people grow their accounting and bookkeeping business, right? So we have our mentorship program as well. Also, yes, if you want some help growing your own bookkeeping/accounting business, like check out the mentorship program by clicking the link inside the description below. Let's jump into this thing. So, the main lesson number one, okay, I want to kind of not, but I want to give you the ability for you to do this yourself. It's one thing for us to just be able to like come and brag and be like, oh, hey, this person's able to do this. I want you to be able to do this yourself. Also, I see inside of the chat, I see Curly Quell or QEL. Good to see you. Let me know what your name is inside the chat if you're watching as well live, right? So I can kind of address you by your first name. See, Anna's in the chat as well. See, there's a couple people with me live. I think there's 6 viewers on the YouTube. I think there's like 3 or 4 in school, so that's really cool to see that. But kind of getting back into this thing. So, in order for you to start doing this yourself, right, you have to have your packages set up correctly. So, one of the biggest mistakes I see people making is that like they're using like a 3-tiered approach where it's like bronze, silver, gold package or good, better, best, right? This can actually hurt sales for a couple reasons. Most business owners automatically lean towards the first or the second option, and they very rarely will accept the highest package. Even if like I've seen it where like and this is like this is not like an exaggeration, but this is like the extreme. I saw a $20 million company say that their bookkeeping was not that big or was not that intense. Hi, Quell. Good to see you. Oh, Raquel. Okay, cool. I see Phoebe and I see Anna. Cool. Good to see you guys. But yeah, so like I literally because I was reviewing one of our students' call and she was talking to this owner of a $20 million per year company, and he was saying why he shouldn't take the top package, and it was just hysterical to think out to hear that actually in person. But it's one of those big things. It also starts to create decision fatigue. So one reason why I know a lot of people do like the three-tier packages of like the good, better, best is that they think that once they present those packages, the business owner only has three options. They either go with option A, option B, or option C, right? So three options. But in actuality, there's actually like four or five different things they can say, right? They can choose option A, B, or C. They can think about it. That's the fourth option, or they can choose none. So that's about five options. So you don't really create less options or force them down a path. It actually just makes things a lot more challenging because now there's more objections that they have to think through, and now there's a choice, right? And this matters for cold audiences more than warm audiences, right? So, like, sometimes if someone comes from a referral and you have like this good, better, best package, it will work, right? I have a student in our program. She got to like 6 grand. That's just kind of her favorite style, but almost all of her leads are like referrals, right? And we'll talk about how to get referral clients in a couple minutes in this presentation, but when it's not a referral, it's exponentially harder to close with that kind of style. So, and the reason why is like they're more skeptical. You have to have a much clearer offer, and too many choices can actually cause too much time in between decisions, which can lead you to have less sales and less clients. Okay. So number one. So another thing that happens too with these three packages, the top package is really the challenge or the thing that's going to hurt people because most people will actually price their top package too low. If you have like one of those three-tiered packages and your top package price is like 1,700 or 1,750 a month, you're leaving a huge amount of money on the table, right? The students in our mentorship program, like on the high end, is like between 5,000 to $7,000 a month. So if we were to do a three-tier package, the $1,700 one would be like more of like our middle tier, right? But for most people, that's their highest tier. And again, it's not that it's bad, like to do this. But again, like you always want to make sure you're not leaving too much money on the table. Okay. Because you can grow your business three times faster by charging three times as much to clients that are more predisposed to say yes. And it's not that we're price gouging people. I don't want you guys to think like we have to, overcharge people. That's not what I'm saying. It's always in proportion to like what you're doing. So, uh, Quell says, I set up my most recent client on monthly maintenance plus hourly for consulting and any additional services, which I think will be great. Nice. That's awesome. Good for you. How much did you charge for that client per month? That'd be cool to kind of know. The next thing is that one reason why it's also important to have a very high top package is because it creates what's called a price anchor. So whenever you go into like a store like Polo Ralph Lauren, right? They have like their top line, like their purple label, right? And those are generally going to be priced at like, 3,000, 5,000, $10,000 for like a garment, right? Now, they know that 90% of the people that come into the store are not going to be able to afford that, right? There are going to be like the 10% that will come in that will afford it, right? So we're maximizing price there. But for every other person going to buy like our lower end, like maybe our Polo Ralph Lauren, right? They're going to be like, oh my gosh, they're going to aspire to go into that top package. So they're more likely to buy the first and the second option, right? So that's one reason why you have to make the prices like much as much you can within reason. Cool. Next thing is that the pricing mind shift you have to kind of shift into is that the biggest challenge most people have is not just the smaller end clients, right? It's not just that you get a client for 150 or $300 a month. That's bad, but the thing that's worse is client for like $2,000 per month. But when you actually take a look at like how much time you're spending, it only comes out to like $18 per hour. That's bad because it actually stops your ability to grow quite as far, assuming that you have a full-time job and you have a family. So one sec. So okay, so Cole said she said 250 for the basics and 75 hourly plus an onboarding fee. I would do higher monthly, but I prematurely quoted that. She has lower transactions currently, but a lot coming. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so that's good. Let me see. I wish I could share the message on screen with this, but I'm using like YouTube specifically now, so I can't. I don't know if I can share it on the screen. It'd be cool if I could though. Let me see. Pin up. Okay, all I can do is pin the message. But yeah, so that's the biggest thing there. right? The next thing you're going to start thinking about is going to be like who can actually afford your services. So not every single business owner is going to be a great fit for your business, right? So some people are not super price elastic. They're gonna have maybe low cash flow, maybe they have a very small business, not a lot of transactional value or volume, or they're trying to do everything on their own, right? Those three kind of clients, I would exponentially like just kind of like urge you to maybe stay away from for your first couple clients. Over time, as you gain more confidence, as you start getting clients, as you start getting like higher paying clients, maybe you can start taking on those smaller ones. But at least in the beginning, if your goal is to get to like 7 grand, 8 grand, 10 grand per month, it's really best we can go after the right size clients from the start. Now, another reason why it's really important is because a lot of these clients, even though they might want your service, might need your service, a lot of times, like the mind state that they're going to find themselves in is that of trying to conserve or save money. When the attitude and the energy you need to get a high paying client is going to be someone that's looking to grow, is looking to improve their business, or is looking to get to that next level, right? That's an exponentially different type of buyer, right? Because oftentimes those kind of people, they're going to value accounting and bookkeeping because they know they need it in order to grow. Number two, they're going to have the budget. And then number three, most importantly, they're going to have the willingness to invest, to grow and get support to get to that next level. So very important to start looking for those kind of clients. After that, it's easiest to go after clients using relationships. So better relationships often lead to better prospects, and better prospects are more likely to trust you, understand the value, and pay the right price. Okay. Now, one thing that I see a lot of people do is that they focus on only one way of getting clients. So for me, what I always talk about doing is you need one acquisition channel that's going to go after cold people, like people you don't know. You need a second one that's going to be building referral relationships in the local area. You need a third place that's going to be building relationships with business owners online that can refer clients to you. So 60% of your leads should be coming from referrals, but half of those are going to be from in person, half is going to be from online. Now, if you have like a full time job and there's like a conflict of interest, maybe you don't build the referral partnerships that are going to be inside of the local area just to kind of, protect, your job from, finding out what you're doing, right? So the online's gonna be a little bit better one. Anna says, I'm going to start low and work my way up. I am new at this until I get the hang of that. Is that okay? Yeah, I mean, do whatever you want. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule. It's just the people that I generally work with inside of our mentorship program. Like, even if they're new to doing bookkeeping, like they're trying to hit a certain like revenue goal so they can either leave their job or do this stuff like full time. But like if you're either, like maybe you're on disability right now, or maybe you're doing this part time, or you just want to grow things slowly, yeah, you can definitely work with like small clients. Don't get me wrong. Like this is about you building your business, right? It's about giving and having control to live life how you want it. So if you want to have a bunch of clients for like $100 a month because you're just starting, that's okay. That's just not really what I kind of encourage people to do, and that's not really what my the style and strategy that I build a business is using, right? So you can take all the stuff we teach inside these videos and just apply it to smaller clients, but ideally the people that are like watching this and like getting the stuff are trying to grow and get better quality clients to start. But yeah, so yeah, that's all good. Do build your business how you want. It's all good. One thing to note is that if you ever do get clients that are a little bit too small and you're finally to the point to where you are trying to hit a higher revenue goal, you can always sell those clients off to another either accountant, another bookkeeper, for like 3x whatever the EBITDA is for them. So yeah, it's just really easy for you to be able to do that. Now, next thing, okay, so easiest path is going to be through relationships. So the number one thing that I like to do is using LinkedIn, right? So when I'm going to LinkedIn, I'm always trying to make sure that every single marketing channel that I have can get me between 1 to 5 clients per month. Okay. Ideally, if they can each give me 5 clients a month, that's great. Right. Most people can't handle that kind of volume. So a much safer number for them is that each lead source gives at least 1 client per month. So that way, if you have 3 different channels, you'll be getting 3 clients a month. That's a very sustainable kind of growth rate, right? Maybe you get 1 client, you take like, maybe like 3 to 5 days to onboard them. Now you're in that monthly flow. Then you get another client, you get 3 to 5 days to onboard them, you get another client, 3 to 5 days to onboard them. And then that's just a smooth kind of process, right? So LinkedIn's gonna be number one. You can go directly to client by just like picking up like who is the right ones to go after and understand like how to really research a company. The big thing with LinkedIn is just really understanding to research companies before you start building a relationship. 90% of people that are going to struggle with like building a business, they're just talking to every single business owner they can. If the person's a pulse and the person has a business, they're trying to pitch their services. Again, if you don't have a minimum price criteria, that's good. But if you are like having like let's say like you're trying to go after like $1,000 a month clients and like minimum $1,000 a month, okay? You can't be talking to clients or people that are under 800K per year in their business. Like a person that's doing $100,000 per year in the business, they do not have the money to pay you $1,000 a month, right? Most business owners are operating between a 5 to 35% net margin. So if they only make $100,000 a year top line, they at the minimum could be making $5,000 a year profit, or they could be making $35,000 per year profit. So if you're asking for 1,000 a month, that's 12,000 a year. There's just not enough meat on the bone, and like they're going to be in a lot of stress, and they're not going to be able to pay you, right? But if you go after a company that's doing like 800K, 900K, a million, it's going to be much more comfortable for them, right? Because they have the profit and they have like the reserves to be able to pay you what you need. So when we're on LinkedIn, we're looking and researching the companies before we start building relationships with the owners, right? Same thing if I'm starting to reach out to referral partners. Whenever I'm talking to referral partners, right? Like I was at online, like we have like this online networking group that we created, right? Where it's like I basically go and find people in my local area that have like businesses that would be like good for me to like network with. And then I basically invite them to do like a basically like a small group meeting. It was like 15 of us. We each go and like talk about like what are we offering, how can we help each other, what kind of clients to look for. And I'm only talking to people inside of that organization that have clients that at least meet my minimum criteria. If they don't meet it, there's no real point for me to actually start talking to them because they're not going to be able to help me, right? So everything in this business is about setting up the right relationships, picking your clients to make sure that you're talking to the right people, and then making sure that you're very efficient with your energy and your time so you're not spending 40 hours a week trying to market. Okay? Cool. Next thing. So when you're doing in-person networking, one thing that you should know, like in-person networking, if you have nothing else, like you have no marketing skill set, you don't know how to use social media, you don't know how to make content, you don't know how to post, you can always go to in-person networking, right? In-person networking is a good option, but the downsides of that is just it's time consuming, it's slower, and it's less efficient than online methods. There was a meeting this morning in my local area that I got invited to. It was at 7 a.m. I did not go to that meeting today. 7 a.m. I was like, I think it was like a 20-minute drive up there. It was crazy. It was crazy. But that's one of the things. If you don't have anything else and like that's all you have, I would see if you could do something like that. At least get one client, and then that will kind of create some separation from you. So you can start really investing in advertising, you can start reinvesting in your business, and you can start growing a lot faster. Okay. Now, that is the main way that this student was able to go and get 3 clients at $900 a month. She picked better quality clients, so she only was talking to clients that were doing at least $800,000 per year in revenue. One of the clients came from LinkedIn. 2 of the clients came from a local referral partner that was actually like a banker, right? So the person owned like she didn't own the bank, but she was like a branch manager, and she was able to refer 2 clients that had just come to her looking for a commercial loan, but they didn't really have any financials, right? So really, really simple, right? But at the end of the day, it came easy, but it takes you having the right pre-work, right? Telling the partner who is a good fit, helping the partner understand how to present you in a really good way so that the person has a lot of value when they talk to you, making sure that your sales script is going to be very smooth so when you're talking on the phone they know exactly what you're doing, and they're going to be able to give like they're going to be able to understand the full value of what you're offering so they can pay you more, and they'll be happy to pay that. Okay, so if you have any other questions, make sure to reach out to me. You can either post in the comments or you can post it and reach out to me inside of school, okay, if you're inside of our school group. Also, if you want some help growing your business, just like the same way that we talk about in these videos, like across all of our YouTube videos or all the stuff that we talk about, click the link inside of the description below. book a call for our mentorship program to see if we can help you. Okay. Let's see if I can help you get your next client, and let's see if I can help you go and reach your revenue goal. Okay. So click the link. Let's see if it's a good fit, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day and talk to you later.